Well, hey, everyone. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30-plus year video game enthusiast and industry analyst. And today for June 13th, 2025, I'll run through the latest gaming news, what I've been playing, and some other stuff. There is, for a small time, some other stuff we'll talk about. It's kind of like, should I get it? No. I'm going to talk about what I've been playing. Then I'll get this other part out of the way real quick. It's not super related to AI, but it kind of is. I mean, gaming, it's AI related. Okay, all right. What should we start with? Actually, we start with I slept like a rock last night. I think it's because it's like, Thursday night to Friday, and my work week has been insane. Yeah, my body just really knocked out. And then, I did my fighting boxing yesterday too, so that made me tired. But I'm so tired. But I'm glad it's Friday. You know what? Look at that. I always forget to. I wish. So this is something I wish could be automated. Right here is when I want to have a certain URL show up. There we go. So yeah, just played some more Halo Infinite yesterday with my youngest. We're just whittling away at the campaign every day, and that game does not stop being fun at any point because there's the constant mechanics that the game has at all moments around you. Again, it's super John Wick style, especially like when we have missions where we're just jumping out of giant towers, going on to the next thing, and then like grappling, and then there's dudes. Oh man, just like I would love like if there was like a camera, that was like an exterior camera. What am I trying to say? There's a name for it. Just following 4 people run in the campaign, like people that are good, because of how insane you can grapple to this dude, kick him, shotgun that guy, pick up the coil, throw it to that guy, grapple that coil, throw that, blah, 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 and you're constantly playing this game. And so there's this other element to Halo that in the past, I think it's part of Halo, but I think I appreciate more now. It's, how like Halo, you can actually get one-shotted out of nowhere pretty quick. It's one of those games that does that where let's say your shields just happen to be down and you're just in the right spot where someone snipes you. Yeah, I think that's what makes the movement in Halo more interesting, to try to make sure you're avoiding that. How am I being creative with my movements to get around this boss? Because with the momentum of the grapple hook, you can make it where it's, okay, I'm going to go straight here, or I'm going to run, grapple in a different direction, though, to kind of create like a circular, like strafing pattern. And you do this so that you can, like the bosses with melees, it's like, so you can operate with that. Anyway, it's so fun. It's so fun. Another one, and so we talked about this yesterday with Ultronimus. He happened to bring up Phantasy Star Online 2, and that's something I played. Phantasy Star Online 2 when it first came out. It just wasn't my thing. I didn't really get it. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't this Dreamcast and then Xbox, and hasn't this been around for a while? And maybe that was the first one and this is the second. I don't know. But anyway, they got this new Genesis or whatever that it actually looks good. And playing it yesterday, this says I only played for 22 minutes. But I'll have you know, I did skip the cutscenes. I do like the combat in it. So far, it's like not as advanced as something like a Stellar Blade, but it has the dodge, the attack dodge, the lock on. It does that type of combat, and I really like it. So, will I be playing more Phantasy Star Online 2? Perhaps, because I could just play it on the Portal very easy. It's interesting to see Vita on here. I guess it's on the Vita too, but can people still play it online on the Vita? That's interesting. And crossplay with play. I don't know. I love the idea of a legacy platform still being able to connect online. So as far as that's all I played this year. Again, kind of busy week. You know how it is. Don't play too much during the week. Okay, I want to touch on this one topic real quick, just because I feel like AI is a big deal in a bunch of different ways that most people are thinking it's a big deal in other ways. For instance, Apple came out with a paper, and I've talked about this. This paper came out not too long ago, and Stephen Minna Hatter shared it with me. Apple researchers just released a damning paper that pours cold water on the entire AI industry, and I guess that title really is just as much sensationalizing as the people that talk about the dangers of AI. And what I'm trying to get here is the illusion of thinking, reasoning models, and it's in the face of complete accuracy collapse beyond certain complexities, because these things aren't as advanced as people are saying. It's just not. When you're I don't know how else to get into that. It's just pattern recognition. It's someone that's just working off of Google Images and Photoshop, but just at a faster pace. And the reason I think this is a big deal is the other issue is, where is it? As AI faces court challenges from Disney and Universal, legal battles are shaping the industry's future opinion. So what's going on here is with Midjourney, people are able to make Star Wars images. And the idea is Disney wants Midjourney to pay fees for every Star Wars image generated. But as they go through this legal battle, what this paper is revealing, which it's funny that this happened to happen around the same time, and I have some stuff up, is, let's see. It's a dangerous precedent for companies to clamp down on fan art generated by AI, because the precedent would then be they could go to other fan art and say, oh, yeah, the reasoning of locking down AI fan art is because of pattern recognition. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's not any technical implications beyond what a human could do, so they would have to rely on Midjourney as the tool. But then you could just simply say, I even was saying that's no different than putting an image of a character in Photoshop, editing it, then sharing it online. And it's like you make a compelling point about the functional similarity from a technical perspective. You're absolutely right. Both involve taking copyrighted imagery, manipulating it digitally, and sharing the result. The end product and process can be remarkably similar. The legal distinction our studios are likely to draw seems to be more about the systematic nature of how AI operates. But now that we have a deeper understanding that could be used in a legal setting, and so here's the thing. The Apple article argues AI is just pattern recognition and not advanced intelligence. Exactly. That's a brilliant connection that really undermines the studio's legal theory. So as much as there's a lot of people out in the world that hate AI, corporations are going to take advantage of that overall mindset to be able to clamp down more on copyright and art. So we have to be very careful with this new Apple or this new Disney versus Midjourney case. And it's funny that Apple is the good guy here because it's usually not the case. Let's see. Because Photoshop's content-aware fill uses pattern recognition to manipulate images. Autocorrect uses pattern recognition on text. So let's say you have it automatically write Chewbacca It's the same thing that AI platforms are doing, yet the general population and corporations think it's not. And even search engines use pattern recognition to find and display copyrighted content. So this isn't directly related to games, but it can be, and I think it's just very interesting for us to, kind of think about this and talk about this, because it's very easy to damn others, talk down to others, but you don't know what you're aligning with, I guess. You might not realize. And this just goes down to human ignorance. I think humans, and I've done this too, it's like, if we don't know, I guess we don't sometimes sit with this open mind of, oh, we don't know what we don't know. We tend to feel like, oh, if I don't know it, I don't need to know it because I know everything else. So when people see the AI and they don't like it or they hear it's bad, they don't do investigations themselves into how it actually works technically. They're just going to follow the sheeple and do the whole thing. Anyway, glad to get that off my chest, because I didn't want to kind of bog down Gundam Explained with that. So, Jim Kellex, Phantasy Star was originally an RPG that was made, a Dreamcast MMO. Well, yeah, I know the Phantasy Star from like Sega Master System, and then the MMO on Dreamcast. So were they all separate games then? And then eventually, I'll have to look at that. It's more a core battle to stem growth enough to gain the means to remain at the top. Yeah, that's another good point. That's another thing these corporations do when they have enough money. They can make something that would be completely legal seem like it's a situation because they have the money to kind of do discovery and do all this stuff. Hey, but let's jump back into video games real quick. Look at this. How to get Gears of War Reloaded free upgrade. So I don't know about you guys, but I had a message on my Xbox account, and it was from Microsoft. They're like, here's a free Gears of War Reloaded code. But let's look at this. If you previously purchased Gears of War Ultimate Edition on an Xbox or PC, you should check your Xbox messages to see if you've given a free upgrade for Gears of War Reloaded. So I've never bought the Ultimate Edition, but I've probably installed it or started it on Game Pass. Let's see how much Gears of War. Oh, wow. It has more than I thought it would, which is pretty cool just because the history of Exophase. But yeah, original Gears of War on 360. I don't think I've ever beat any of them because I don't really like them, actually, to be completely honest. It's just weird. 15 hours in Gears of War 4. Is that true? Because one other funny thing is, I don't remember Gears of War games too much. I don't think they're that good. I played a lot of Judgment, but look at this. 18 hours, reached level 5, completed Museum of Military Glory. Was there a time where I was just maybe leaving things running? I don't know. But now I'm getting that itch. Adam, Gears of War, just play it. I know you don't like it that much. Okay. If you've played Gears of War Ultimate Edition, you should get a code. So, yeah, Gears of War Ultimate Edition in 2015 for 1 hour. Okay. Oh, so Gears of War, and I guess they're, the same game. I guess I'm not a big Gears guy, but I guess Ultimate Edition, I guess, was kind of a re-release maybe. And then this Reloaded, is it a remaster? I wonder. And then I'm curious when it comes out. Although that's just a thing that I think they would just be giving away anyway on Game Pass, Let's see. Well, yeah, let me search for that because I'm kind of interested. Gears of War launch. Is it out right now or? I'm going to check the Steam. Oh, no, August 26th. That's a while. I guess this is a way to get the marketing rolling. That's kind of a smart thing on Microsoft's part. Sony confirms PS5 has more monthly players than PS4 for the first time. Congratulations. That is awesome. Again, I love, and I was talking about this yesterday with Autonomous, like how PS4 is like this awesome legacy system because it has a bunch of great games. It's got great graphics, and it's like it's one of those things where do you just stop supporting it? That's always been the biggest question developers have had, except if you're on PC. But so let's see, because originally I think there was a 50-50 split. And is this an actual graph here showing? Well, great. I mean, I think this is what we need. It's unfortunate where there will be some people that kind of get left out just because this stuff is expensive and it's not as necessary as other things. But I guess then, from a gaming perspective, this could mean developers don't necessarily have to focus on a kind of a PS4 base. But then at the same time, you got things like the Switch 2, which maybe when it comes to power, they could be similar, but maybe architecturally it's easier to develop on a Switch 2 than a PS4 by now, which probably makes sense only because that was the big issue with for instance, I forget what the name of the engine. There's this proprietary PlayStation engine that companies use, like the Godzilla game, so that porting is hard and even the emulation. I should see if there's been an update on the Godzilla PS4 emulation. Okay. GM Kellogg's Phantasy Star Online 2 is its own separate universe. Maybe PS1. I believe the Phantasy Star universe and the PSP Portable 1, 2 sequel spin-offs are in the same timelines. Wow, what an interesting another thing when it comes to games or storytelling, their lore, their different universes. I'm intrigued. I'm going to look into that just because Phantasy Star on Master System is like, I can picture that. When I picture Master System, I'm picturing Phantasy Star. I never beat it, but that was like the big Sega game. Okay. Switch 2 sells almost 1 million units in Japan, making it country's big. Maybe the sense, I don't know, making it the country's biggest console launch, which, congratulations, another good news. So Sony has their PS5 finally taking over the PS4. And I mean, I don't know if there was a timeline for that. It's just good in general that's growth. And then the Nintendo Switch 2 being Japan's biggest console launch. So seems like it's good news. I hope that means a healthy industry is growing, because I know since like COVID and then we get all these cancellations, rising prices of games, sometimes things seem bleak, but I feel like there's some positivity out of some of this news here. GameStop could pivot away from games to focus more on trading cards. And I've brought this up before, but maybe that was on Gundam Explained. There's that Gundam card game coming out. So the GameStop that's right next to my house, I say next to, it's not really, it's just super close. It's in more of a suburban area. It, at one point, there was a cell phone store next to it, and then they bought that out, broke down the wall in between, and then made, that store just because they used to do that where they would sell cell phone plans, And then they changed it to the ThinkGeek. If you guys remember, GameStop for a while did the ThinkGeek, where they had all the memorabilia, Funko Pop, stuff like that, I think. And that's still what they just took down the branding and then kept it GameStop, but still had that stuff. Now, when I go in, that whole section, while there is still a part of a wall of action figures and stuff, it's now mainly card games, just collectible cards, accessories for binders and slipcases for cards, a giant TV, and then like two big like conference tables with chairs. Their idea is getting into like that. Now, every time I've been, I've never seen people sitting there playing. which I wonder if that's the case, if I could like get with the manager there. And I don't know if he's still there, but I knew the manager really well. Actually, I don't know if he's still there. And I remember like back in the day we were talking, it's like, oh yes, saw you guys at the Force Awakens movie premiere. It's just cool. Anyway, talk about doing the Gundam card game there. That would be pretty neat. Anyway, so he stressed that the recent growth of the trading card market could be a lucrative revenue path for GameStop to follow, potentially suggesting a pivot away from the ever-dying stream made up of physical game sales. And I think that's, yeah, it's interesting that the physical game sales are still enough to keep GameStop around just enough in 2025, when I think we felt like this was going to happen for a while. But then there's, people that are still into the physical media, and it's like, no, we want to hold on to that. But then there's people that just don't like GameStop, and I feel like we don't really, as a collective gaming audience, I think if we agreed on stuff, it would help support initiatives. So I think that's why we see things that kind of like die out or linger, just because as a whole in the gaming community, we haven't really come around anything. Even microtransactions, as much as some of us complain, we buy them just enough to where games still have them, GameStop now with more than just video games. That's what they should. Yeah. How could they? Yeah. I mean, I guess you could call it GameStop if you're playing a card game. Yeah, times have changed. Let's see. Sony reveals PS5 players have overtaken PS4, but I had already talked about that article. And then the AI stuff that I got off my chest. It feels great. Okay. We're going to try out a game I came across. I have no idea. I have no idea what this is going to be, guys. I have no idea. All I know is if you like mechs, it has mechs. You know what? I totally forgot to talk with Steven about something yesterday. I'm going to bring it up here. I forgot the Mecha Break developer, which I played the beta and alpha. It's not that great. The controls. Okay, there we go. But then they said that they got review bombed. So Mecha Break got review bombed, and they analyzed so there's review bombing, but sometimes that could be like just a way to harass. Except this time it was actually a concerted, concentrated, a focused effort of review bombing, specifically to tell the Mecha Break devs, don't do this in the game. So they're actually revamping some of the elements of Mecha Break. That's pretty interesting. All right. Let me check something real quick. Okay, cool. TV repairman coming today. I told you, it was like weeks ago, the backlight and the TV went out. We got a new one. The backlight's still out. Got an electrician. They couldn't figure it out. So Samsung offers someone to actually see the TV, and I mean, I don't know. Okay. We'll keep it at 1440. I don't even hear the game. But it's not too much. Okay. I'm going to keep everything as it is. I was actually looking for to revert. Did I just the inversion? There you go. Invert. It's not here. So this is a really cool stylized game just from the what the? You don't make any sense, game. But I don't know how that's going to translate. This game, the controls in this game don't make any sense. There we go. Oh, okay, begin. Sorry, that... Could the problem be magnetic in nature? Interesting. I wonder. I mean, I have moved the TV around the house. I don't know. Okay, so check this out. What is this game? I don't know, except you have this thing that flies around. I don't even know what I'm supposed to... Visit. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Settlements built atop of giant pillars, cities, and outposts are safe havens from the machines where people try their best to get by. Merchants sell all sorts of goods scavenged by other crews and might be interested in buy what you find. Okay. Fixers. Okay. I kind of... The thing here that I'm... I don't know what I'm trying to say is... What's the gameplay loop here? I mean, this is pretty neat, but it's like, is there a battle I get to go to? Is there combat? Because look at all this stuff. This is the art direction, the style, everything looks so cool, but I have no idea. And then that's in my airship, and there's my mech. Gym? Boxing? Okay. No activity tokens left. Alright, well. Alright. General store, fixer, gas station. Oh, contract. Raise the factory. Wipe out the factory operations. Okay. Alright, well, we got into something. Let's see. Looks like you have a job already. Come back later? Oh, contract around for me to pull your mech into the wasteland and face the machine. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so... Okay, you get a job to get... You go to the encounter. Now let's see what this combat is like. Each round of combat is divided into 2 phases, planning phase and resolution phase. During the planning phase, you assign orders to your pilots and place them on the timeline. The resolution phase. So this might not be a real-time combat game. So... Okay. I don't really know what to do, but at the same time, visually, I don't care what's happening. So, if this will be what I have to look at when I play... Okay. At least it's cool that maybe it creates like an animation. So I see the novelty in this. Okay. Definitely not my type of game, but I will say this is cool. There's a demo up. I feel like people should try it. Because I think I'm starting to get what's going on here. I know I'm not reading everything, but I like. Yeah, let's do a slap. I guess deploy coolant. And it's one of those things where I'm going to figure this stuff out as the game goes. So I would say it's kind of initial, or at least for me, maybe my intelligence level, have a hard time really wrapping my head around what to do immediately. But this is cool though. I like that it's almost, you know, a turn-based style game because you're just kind of, I'm not doing anything with my hands right now. Most of the game is me watching it, not actually interacting with it, which is not what I do in games. But, oh, do I go some more? No. You know, I'm gonna stop. It's definitely not my type of game, but it is cool. I wouldn't want this to be. I would probably recommend this to people that like turn-based strategies or mecha or anime. I mean, it does everything so stylishly. This combat style feels familiar, and I don't know why. Yeah, it seems to be something to do with lanes and stuff. And yeah, I'm not too familiar, but all right. Well, I think that's it for today. All I'm gonna head out. That was a lot of fun. Have a good weekend. I'll be back. Yeah, next week with some more. So until next time, have a good one.